I'm the Biz Manager and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Now my friends, today we are going to take care of another issue that has been plaguing this colony for some time. Our water stock is really low and we need a way to deal with it. After all, it's not only our dupes who are dependent on it to breathe, these little fishes that we decided to put inside of our water storage are also dependent on it, otherwise they will die. And it's gonna be terrible, because we're gonna send this species into extinction on 2 planets. So yeah, not probably a bad idea to take care of it, don't you think? Now, before we go and we deal with it, because it's gonna be relatively simple, we tap this resource node, we tap this resource node, we combine it with this resource node, and in the end we should have all the water that we need. What is that? Why is the game so weird with the colors from time to time? Oh, I don't know. In any case, my friends, there is only one small thing. You see, although I still think this is gonna work, we still need to wait a little bit for it to go into action, there is one small improvement that I wish to make to this thingy. It's just to help with the temperature situation. What we are gonna do is quite simple. We are gonna monitor the temperature inside of the pipe that is gonna go in here first, because this is the cold one. Like the heat we don't care so much, the cold one is the most important one. So we are gonna monitor the temperature of the coolant. If this thing is open and the coolant is, you know, cold, the fluid will be allowed to go in. However, if both of these things are open, and the coolant is a little bit toasty, it's going to go into the other one. It's just so that we can preserve the temperature of this thing, because, you know, although this thing is really cool and is capable of keeping the temperature of multiple things in check, it's very slow to act. So if we are increasing the temperature of the coolant, we're gonna, you know, it's gonna take way longer for it to activate. Now, this is also one of the reasons why having these things in here is rather nice, because even if there is a packet of very toasty coolant, once it goes in here, it averages out with the rest of the coolant inside. And, you know, the heat is not gonna be too major. But if we can still, like, kind of improve it a little bit more, just to make it a little bit more efficient, why not? But I don't want this to be the focal point. Today is Water Day. So, yeah. Question. Where in the hell are, like, we are already using... I would say that we have already used at least 60% of the map when it comes to space. Why must everything that I build be so disgustingly big? And why must the map be so disgustingly small? But yeah, my friends, we kinda need a space to put the water stuff, so that, you know, we can process it and filtrate it. Yeah. I need to think a little bit about this, because at first I was thinking about putting it over here. A small block, we don't need to store a lot of water. If this thing is full and then all the other 3 things of clean, polluted and salt water are also full, you know, I'm happy. We need to make a 4th one, because this is brine, not salt water. We need to make a 4th one for salt water, which we are going to export from space. In the very, like, future, so yeah. Let me think about this for a moment. Okay, so this is all the space that we can dedicate to it. It's a large chunk, okay? If we can't make this work with this, I don't know, what, we need an entire map just to make a water reclamation system? Please. Now, this thing is a bit in the way, but not super a lot, so it's totally fine. We need to go down, hollow this thing out. Oh, we need to kind of process these waters. Yeah, we'll just filtrate it and send it straight in there, just as a temporary solution. We also need to take care of this water and whatnot, so yeah, probably just make a few sieves here and there and send all this disgusting water into there to be filtrated and put into our main storage for additional time that we have to make this. So pretty much the idea is quite simple. We need to make 3 compartments over here, right? Salt, brine, polluted. We then make a 4th compartment in the bottom, clean water. All those things input into their individual storage. If the thing gets too full, it gets automatically processed into clean water. If this thing needs clean water, it pulls it from here. If this thing gets full, then nothing gets processed for obvious reasons, and you know, things start backlogging into their individual quote-unquote storages, okay? Because this is like a temporary storage of sorts. So yeah, this is very simple, and it's just that it's gonna take a bunch of pipes. So could you please go away? Thank you. Now we do have 3 pipes going downwards. One of these pipes, it's going to be a petroleum line, so I was thinking we could use the other 2 for one for the clean water from here, and the other one for, you know, one of these 2 waters, or in this case combining both of them, because this thing, after we are done exporting all of this thing outputs very small quantities of water. 1 kilo a second on average. This encompasses the dormancy and whatnot. So yeah, like these 2 things at the same time can't fill a pipe, so it's perfectly fine to just share one of those. Now this thing over here still needs to be analyzed, also doesn't fill up a pipe, so maybe we might even combine this in the third into the same line as this and the other one, and everything gets just separated over here. Okay, so let's start by taking all of this water from here, and then, you know, one of the advantages of having a bunch of pipes built all over the place is the fact that we can just utilize it temporarily to other things other than their original purpose. So yeah, we're just gonna take advantage of these pipes that are already built, and we're gonna input all of that clean water over here. It's not gonna be a lot, it's just still this little bit, and then this little bit. But hey, every little bit helps. Okay, game. Very interesting that after we get the plastic done, you send us okay, well, thank you anyway. It's gonna be appreciated. Made a mess. Ooh. Oh, Joshua. Oh, man. How did you trap yourself in there? Okay, don't worry, Joshua, don't worry. We'll take you out of there in no time. Okay, Joshua, here's what we are gonna do. You made a mess, right? And you made pee inside of the suit, and that's gonna be very bad. We need you to drop that suit in a place where the pee is not gonna be a major problem. Like, for example, over there. There we go. You see, this is a perfect place for you to take your suit off. The pee is gonna go, and then, because we don't want any suits just laying around, I want you to re-equip it. There we go. And now someone can come over here and clean this mess. Wow, some good news, my friends. The ice block is starting to be formed. Would you look at that? The petroleum is already at quite frosty temperatures, as we can see. The ice is gonna take a little bit longer to fully build, but hey, it's already starting. Once the ice block is done, we still need to wait for that temperature to be all transferred down into the individual chambers. As we can see, the automation is already at work. Only one chamber actually needs extra chilling. And yeah, after that, this still needs to solidify, because this water is also going to solidify. I hope the automation still works well underneath an ice block. I'm pretty certain that it does, but we'll see. If not, then I just hope this thing gets stuck in closing mode and not in open, otherwise things might get a little bit complicated. In any case, yeah, now it's just a matter of waiting. As we can see, the polluted water is slowly but steadily decreasing its temperature, which means this slowly but steadily is decreasing its temperature as well, and soon these will be at the desired temperature. Bristle blossoms could already be farmed, but right now we still don't have the water being... I need to take care of this pipe, okay? These 2 pipes are really in the way. However, they are temporarily in the right spot for, you know, providing water for the bristle blossoms. Since I already have to take care of the pipes anyway, I mean, I can just put more pipes, and then the bristle blossoms can just grow themselves. Now, the purpose of this farmhouse is to have the auto sweepers deliver the whatever these things need. I don't think these need anything other than water, no, but for example, these things need dirt. Where is it? Dirt. So this thing Okay, we'll collect the dirt from the conveyor receptacle and then add it into the slit wheat, reducing the amount of work that the farmer needs to do, which, you know, in turn allows us to have a ginormous farm for like only 2 dupes, which is just fantastic. And then it collects the stuff, puts it in the rail, and the rail takes it straight into the fridge that doesn't exist yet, but yeah, this thing is still not fully built anyway, so... Yeah, we still need to get our water situation going, because I don't feel too confident just yet in our small pool of water over here. Now, my friends, I would like this thing to go dormant, but we don't know when it's going to go dormant, so we need to risk it. Now, here's the thing. One of the reasons why I want this thing to go dormant, it's because we have slime lung in here. And you see, something really funny happens when you have slime lung inside of your steam chamber, because the steam gets contaminated by the slime lung, and after it turns from steam into water, the water gets contaminated with slime lung. Now, the slime lung eventually dies off, but if you have a constant source of germs, well, it's gonna be a very bad time. Not only that, I need to vacuum the chamber for, you know, so that doesn't happen. So having constantly steam being emitted is not a good thing. Also, another third thing, we need steel for this one. I don't trust the gold to keep that thing from breaking, so we're gonna make a little bit of steel. We already have a good amount of lime, so you know, we can just go crazy for a little while. So yeah, we need steel, we need a bunch of stuff. Yeah, this is gonna be the most quote-unquote complicated part. What we probably are gonna do is that we are just gonna go over here, cut this chamber off, okay? They'll drop this extremely cold, hot water into the environment and deal with it later. We drop it together with this and this and this, like, it's gonna be a mess, but we put it through the filtration system and yeah, whatever, we don't care. Yeah, that's probably what I was just waiting a little bit, doing other bits and bobs of things around here, like, for example, this, which we know we're gonna need. But you know, given the circumstances, I probably should just get along and do this, because this thing, it's going to go dormant the second we finish building this, okay? That's how things work. Alright, my friends, so the idea is quite simple. As I mentioned before, we have 2 pipes of very cold water, right? They go through here, and we have this system over here to monitor the... not monitor, but to transfer the temperature from the polluted and brine into this chamber. Inside of this chamber, we're just gonna have these 2 loops with something inside of it, probably petroleum because of the temperature ranges, because we're gonna go from very cold to very hot. So we need something that has quite the range to handle those things. So yeah, petroleum or crude oil, it's gonna be good enough to put inside of these things. And yeah, the purpose is just to start slowly and steadily transfer the temperature into the chamber. This one is gonna be responsible for turning the steam into water, and this one to keep the water as cold as possible. We then put a liquid pump made out of steel inside of this, and well, gold would be good enough because the water is never gonna be above 100 degrees, otherwise it's steam, but because things can spike and you know the game, and this thing is gonna be closed and vacuumed out, and I don't want to deal with it in the future, steel is gonna be the thing that we're gonna put over here. And yeah, we put some automation, like if the water pressure plus temperature is X, then take the water out of there, and it goes into its own individual pipe over here, because it's always gonna be full, because it's only going to activate after it gets a certain pressure. And then yeah, both pipes over here combine into a single one, and also goes down into to be processed. And at this point it should be tepidized and relatively more acceptable to be transformed into clean water. Now, of course, as per usual, it will have to be built in several layers, but this one is easy, so yeah, we just need to build this and put the doors, and then put the automation for the doors, which are gonna be a couple of sensors over here. Like so, temperature sensors, just to prevent these things from overheating. Like if the temperature gets at 30 degrees, then open the door, because that means this water is toasty enough. So yeah. Now, my friends, because on the other planet most things are already built, I'm just gonna queue up a couple of orders. Do you guys... Oh my god, Gossman is gonna get herself trapped. Oh my god, Gossman, why? Please don't do that. In any case, do you remember when I told you that we are gonna make like a power slug room just so that we keep these guys wild? Okay, we are not gonna tame them, but they can come over here during the nighttime and give us a little bit extra power. One of them will have to be turned into a rancher, but you know what? I think it's totally fine. We just need to capture a couple of them, put them in here, and I'm certain it's gonna help us out in the long run. Because after all, we don't have power at night, and these things only work at night, so, you know, they compensate each other. Well, Gossman, how much would you like to be a rancher for a day? It's just for a day, because you're not gonna be taking care of them, but hey, you can capture them now, which is pretty cool, and, you know, you drop them there after you are done with the capturing thingy. If we are able to capture, you know, most of them, eventually they will poop their eggs inside of this thing, which means that we don't need to tame them or anything. They just, you know, do their thing in there. Instead of being inside of a pocket, they can be providing us with a bunch of power. Well, that's less than ideal. That is definitely less than ideal. I prioritized this. This was a 6 for you guys to do before the 5s, okay? That was the reason why the priority was like that. Why can I trust you guys for 1 second? 1 second! Oh my god, I was getting all the careful. I wanted to keep as much water inside of the chamber as possible. I was gonna go through here so that the chlorine would kill the slime lung, preventing the polluted oxygen from getting in there. You know, all of that sweet jazz. No. The dupes had to mine the entire thing because there was pipes in there waiting. You know, instead of doing the priorities. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. So over here, this thing is now providing us how much power do they give? 400 each, so 800, 16, 2k of power during nighttime. Not bad at all. And I think there is still a couple extra laying around the place that we can actually just add over there into the collection. Slowly but steadily, my friends, this thing is coming online. We now have gristleberries. Not the best food ever, but hey, much better than pickled meal, am I right? Not only that, the water circuit over here, it's almost done as well. Our dupes are just busy with the other things, but whenever they have nothing better to do, they'll just come over here and do one work order here, another work order there, and yeah, soon the water pipe will go through here, get that water pretty chilled off, and then we'll come down here into the sleet wheat. The temperature of the chamber is now starting to get into the temperatures that we desire, as we can see, 8 degrees. As soon as it gets to 5 degrees, I think, it's going to start growing these things, so we need the water over here as well. So yeah, this thing, pretty cool. Now there is a few things. It's just that in order to speed up the process, shall we, I just disable temporarily the outlines, just temporarily. I kind of want the fluid to get pretty frosty before we enable, because you know, the outline doesn't help too much in the frostiness of the coolant, shall we say, but whenever things start to stabilize, the temperature differential should be minimal. Unreachable food. Marie, why you do these things to yourself? Can you dig through there? Oh my god. Now, my friends, you might be wondering, how are we gonna put the petroleum inside of these things, right? Well, we're gonna use the existing pipes temporarily, you see. We just need to go over here, cut this one, cut that one, cut like this, cut there, and cut there. We then unite like this, bam, 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 bam. We cancel any potential build orders so that the pipes don't get replaced. The petroleum will go over here, fill this cooling loop, not in this case, heating loop, with sweet petroleum, and then we snip it, fill this one, and then we just snip everything, clean the pipes, and call it a day. Cooling, the loops are built. Let's get the petroleum right over here, so that we can get the... Oh! Now, my dupes, this is a very important moment, okay? You guys can't mess this up. I'm also gonna request a couple extra bits of the petroleum over there. Hopefully, we'll have to get a sun over here ASAP. Asan, I'm sorry, I know you are busy in the kitchen and whatnot, but we need more petroleum. So yeah, very tense moment right now. Okay, here we go, petroleum incoming. We need to monitor this very, very carefully. Very, very carefully, okay? The dupes are building pipes precisely as this thing is happening, which is less than ideal. One more. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Snap it right there. And now, no, you're not coming back. You are going to go that way. I want you to go that way, okay? Okay. And now I need more petroleum, which is unfortunate. We probably need, let's say, 60 or 70 extra kilograms. Hey, son, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to come over here ASAP. Okay, that's enough. Someone come and pick it up, please. And there we go. We need to connect that to that and that to that. We cancel that. And now, hopefully, this is enough to fill the pipe, but not too much. Oh man. 30 extra kilograms. Now, my friends, even though we don't really have too much time to be dedicating to such things, I'm just gonna take a little bit of the plastic that we have, and I'm gonna build these things, because I kind of want to see the requirements for the new room, the private bedroom, because there is more than just back wall tiles as well. Oh, okay. Let's see if we can, in their spare time, right? Every other project has a higher priority than 5, or at least should have a priority higher than 5. Okay, so they are not going to dedicate too much time to this. Oh, interesting. The back walls don't need to be done. You just need to have like one, maybe one or two, and that's pretty much it to turn into a private bedroom. Oh, interesting. Alright, my friends, so this thing can only be fully built whenever it goes dormant, so that we can vacuum this chamber out, but right now it is as good as it's ever gonna get. So I think that the next step is to take care of all of these lines, which, as you can see, is almost done. So we'll be able to start taperizing this water. Okay. Deepest apologies, good sir. You can mine all of that to access that. So now is the time to just follow these pipes, right? They are gonna go all the way over here. And now we need to start thinking about treating that water, or in this case, filtrating the water between polluted brine and clean, and then put it in their respective chambers. Now, it would be pretty cool if the dupes could just clean this little bit of water. No? Okay. Well, some good news, my friends. Look at that. Some sleet wheat is starting to grow. It's gonna take a little bit longer, but yeah, it's starting to grow. So in maybe 3 or 4 cycles, all of this should start to be growing at a more constant pace. Of course, it's still going to stop from time to time because the temperature is still a little bit far away from what we pretend, but hey, it's at least an acceptable temperature for the plant to grow, which means that now berry sludge will be something that we can achieve. So yeah, soon we should see the berry sludge being available in our calorie list, and the good thing is we don't even need to put it inside of, you know, these things, which, you know, are full already, so. Which also means that we can now start scaling back our millwood production. I still want to keep just a little bit, just in case, you know, we have a fluctuation and whatnot, but for now I think that we can start berry sludge production, which doesn't require any refrigeration. That is going to increase the mood of everybody around here. And in the future we'll start dedicating time to other food forms like ranches and the grubs, which I definitely want. But water, you know, priorities, right? Priorities. Now over here we'll just filtrate the water from the pipe. Nothing fancy. Pretty simple. Over here, if it detects polluted water, goes in there, and in here brine goes in there. We still don't have any salt water, so yeah, and maybe the salt water will be into its own line, so I don't know if I'm gonna have a filter in here or not. If not, we'll even deconstruct this filter, because, you know, it's either polluted water or brine. So, once again, there is plenty of improvements that we can do in the future. It's just that we really need the basic stuff right now, and then we take care of the of all the automation and improvements in the future. Well, the first berry sludge of the playthrough will be eaten by Hassan. Hopefully you like your own cooking, Hassan. So yeah, now we have access to this thing, which is +3 in mood and doesn't spoil, and well, it's just awesome. Let's just say it's one of the best things in the food department, shall we say. And these guys, well, they better start liking it fast, because some of them might be turned into rocketeers. So Camille, why don't you try the delicacy? You probably will like it, but if you don't, well, it sucks to be you. Now, my friends, on this planet, the dupes have not been idling. We are starting to clean out the map, getting all of this disgustingness out of the way, starting to pull all of our water into a single spot, and then we'll filtrate it. Clean water goes in there, polluted water goes into the farming, which we probably also are going to upgrade a little bit. On this side, they are dependent on those bog thingies, so it would be best if we add just the polluted water in the pipe. That way the dudes don't need to work so much. And of course, just cleaning out the debris, which are everywhere. We're gonna deposit them over here. Everything which is not liquefiable, please, for the love of everything that is holy, don't bring the liquefiables over here. Yeah, that way if we need to send something back is right here. We are even going to put one of these in the future. We just need the mechatronics to come over here to do a bunch of mechatronics things. Man, we would almost take May over here. If she did not have the cannot do digging errands, she would be a perfect colonizer dupe. Building and rocketry, awesome. Just awesome. Skills in exosuit training, fan-freaking-tastic. This one is nice. Any morale that we can get in space is amazing, but then she can't do digging, so useless. Totally useless. Okay, my friends, so in order for us to be able to activate this thing, we need to stop over here, and I don't want to wait for this pool of water to be completely dried up, especially because, you know, we would be killing these Pacu, and that's bad. Come on, let's not be monsters, shall we? Let's leave them a little bit of water. So after this is clean from the pipes, I can finally deconstruct a bunch of things, and then connect the pipes that come from over into the top. Over here, I just need to, you know, rearrange a bunch of pipes over here, but yeah, pretty much all the connections are pretty much done. Yeah, all the connections are done for the water to be filtrated. This is cleaned out, even though there is still a bunch of garbage, but this garbage can be cleaned out at a later date, so we can start accumulating water over here. Not only that, but we also already have all the piping in here done, so the moment we decide to connect all, except over here, there is still a few things to deconstruct, but the moment we decide to connect this pipe and the other one in the polluted water, everything should kick into life, and we should start accumulating tepidized water over here. For the other water is still gonna take a little bit longer, but yeah, just want to clean all this water and then rearrange the pipes, and things should come online. There is a bunch of things that need to be deconstructed, my friends, but now they are going to be replaced with permanent things, so, you know, it's totally fine, now, the only thing not permanent is this is in the way, but I still don't have a permanent place for them. Once I decide to do the power plant over here, I'm definitely going to figure something out, but for now, this is going to be good enough. So, we are also gonna need a way to transport. Whoa, that was a weird jolt. We are gonna need ways to transport the water from here into filtration systems. We are gonna put 2 of those thingies. Refinery, water sieve. We're gonna put 2 of them over here, and then we're gonna probably put one of the desalinators. Yeah, probably somewhere around here. I still don't Don't really know, maybe we'll put them over here, maybe we'll put them over here. We'll see, but for now the polluted water would be nice. And these pipes, given that they are already done, we can start accumulating some over here. This is completely cleaned, right? Right, there is no fluids in here, right? This is covered over here, okay? Let's go then. So what we do is we come over here, we connect this one, so polluted water, you can go first. While these two things are completely full, it's gonna stagger a little bit, but it's totally fine, it's totally fine. Over here, we want to connect this, and then we first cancel that, and then disconnect from there. This thing still needs to be deconstructed. Can you guys please do this rather quickly? And then we just connect over there. I just want to wait for this one to be deconstructed first. But yeah, while we are waiting, what we do over here is quite simple. If the temperature is above 25 degrees, this thing opens up, preventing... you can see like it got immediately jeopardized, but yeah, we now will start siphoning heat from this chamber into these metal tiles, and those metal tiles will transfer it into the water, which over time is going to teporize it. Right now we are transporting like packets of 10 kilos, so it's not going to fully teporize it, but whenever we clean this out, we'll be transporting like 1 or 2 kilos at a time, and that is going to be easily teporized. Now this thing is blocked. Why? I thought everything should have been built, but... Oh, no power. Okay. Oh, also, another improvement, my friends. This one is not yet finished. This rail will lead into our freezer in the future, but right now we don't have one, right? And instead of having the dupes go around and collect the stuff, we just go over here and we say cooking ingredients and edibles, right? Everything. It doesn't really matter because we have animals traveling around and whatnot. Maybe they drop some meat. So yeah, we just pick all the stuff, put it in there, and that way it's gonna go straight into our base, and Hassan doesn't need to come over here and pick it up. All of this is full, so we are kind of wasting a little bit of food right now, but I think that the freezer is gonna be our next project. Hey, could you please not eat my bristleberries? Alright, and now we have the brine over here as well. Now, because we have these two things going at full throttle, it's going to stagger a little bit. And that is actually gonna be advantageous for us, because it's gonna mean the packet stays in there longer, transferring more heat into the water. So, it's a little bit more tepidized. Pretty cool. We should have both fluids over here in no time, and as we can see already have a little bit, so time to build the water sieves over here and start filtrating that water. Like, we already have our reserves not restocked, but better than they were in the beginning of the episode, but if we could still just keep on going, it would be for the best. The more water, the better. Alright, beautiful. I didn't even notice that this thing was already operational. Would you look at that? We have a full pipe of clean, fresh water going into our base. What is the temperature of that water? 15 degrees? Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Beautiful. Now, this thing is actually very simple. It's just that it's quite big, and there is a lot of mining and cleaning efforts to get this thing operational, so yeah. So in all thingies, we just now converted this thingy and possibly this thingy into sources of water. You know, decently temperatured water. Now, the temperature in here is very slowly going down. Like I said, this thing is something that is going to operate over time. It's not costing us any power, so it's not like we care too much, at least for now. Eventually, we deal with it another way. But yeah, the upper circuits allows the steam to immediately condensate, and the circuits in the bottom section allows the water to slowly start chilling off, shall we say, and eventually this thing is going to go dormant, and the water is going to be at a decent temperature, and you know, it will be able to be vacuumed out from here. Okay, so with this system quasi-complete, there is still the automation and whatnot, but we can do that later. We still need to wait for this thing to go into dormancy to finish it off anyway, so yeah, this project is going to extend itself to the next episode. So, with that in mind, I think that the next thing in line is the freezer. because, well, right now we are wasting food over here, and no one likes wasting food. That's no good, no good. So, where are we gonna put the freezer? Excellent question. Not even I know the answer to that. Because you see, we need to start planning out the space in our base. Because we are gonna need plenty of space for apartments. And whatever space remains is going to be the utilities. So pretty much all of this is going to be an apartment block with 10 apartments. Then over on this side we'll probably put a few extra, giving us 15. And then a few extra over here, maybe, which leave utilities all the way in the top. So with that in mind, we probably will want to have like a mess hall in the middle over here, and then the kitchen over on this side, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to think about that topic for a little while. Okay, my friends, so I've been thinking about this, and I think we're gonna do it in here. So, how are we gonna achieve our fridge? It's quite simple. We create a very tiny little room over here. We then completely insulate it with insulated tiles, okay? So that the temperature doesn't run away from us. I still need to replace these ones over here. I'm already in the process of uprooting this. Then we are gonna do something a little bit, well... It's not risky, it's just messy. We need to fluid stack two things over here, one fluid on top of each other, so that we can create a liquid lock. A liquid lock that our dupes can move through unimpeded and without creating, you know, one of these. So the way we are gonna do this is we're gonna stack one little bit of crude oil, and then on top of that we're gonna put a little bit of petroleum. I think the petroleum is lighter than the crude oil, you know, it's what makes sense. So yeah, with that we have a liquid lock. We then put one of these things right here, and it is important that it is right there so that the dupes can pick up the food without going into the thingy. I think that they can pick up the stuff from here without... if it is over here, they can pick it up over here without going through, because if they go through, they get soggy feet, which is a temporary slight debuff, but you know... It's their problem, not mine, so, you know, if they still get soggy feet, I don't care. Okay, San, please give us 10 kilos, that's good enough, and now we are gonna want a few kilos of crude oil, please, as well. Let's say this one over here is good. Okay, this one over here is good enough, please, Hassan, you know, since you are already here. No? Okay. Please and thank you, there we go. So now we have 10 kilos of crude oil and 10 kilos of petroleum available to us. The only thing we have to do is drop one single droplet, a tiny little bit of each over here on top of each other. Oh boy, let's just build this thing so that we can prevent a mess from being made on inside of our base. Alright, here we go. First, crude oil, maximum priority. I'll be looking at this like a hawk looking for a prey. Come on, dupes, do not leave me staring at this endlessly. Alright, here we go, crude oil, please, okay, ×1, let's be very, very careful with this. Okay, the crude oil is now being put over there, perfect. Enough, stop. We are already gonna have problems, that's fine, that's fine. What we do... Should I put the petroleum first, or should I clean the crude oil? We clean the crude oil. We mop this tile over here, and that mops this one and this one, which means it's only going to leave this droplet over here. And then we mop this as well, and then we do the petroleum. Okay, here we go, slowly. Slowly, without making too much of a mess, please, 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 please. Yes, okay, here we go, that's enough. Enough. No, don't... God damn it. It pushed the crude oil out of the way. God damn it. Almost there. Let's try to stack the crude oil on top of the petroleum now. Because, you know, maybe the crude oil is the heaviest one, is the lightest one, which would not make sense, because petroleum is lighter than crude oil, because it's distilled version of it. Unless it is diesel. If it is diesel, then maybe, I don't know. Whoa, 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 bro. Why? No! God damn it, you only needed to pick one. Okay, maybe we'll try this again. Jesus. Okay, let's try this again. Just a little bit of petroleum, okay? You don't need to pick all of it. Just 1 gram is enough. Well, 1 gram, not really, but... Please don't push it out of the way this time. Yeah. Okay. Stick it together. Oh my god, yes. Yes. Okay. Now we need to deconstruct these 2 tiles. We need to build this one over here. Maybe we wait until that is dropped down. Let's deconstruct that one first. And let's do it like immediately. I don't want any weird physics happening. Okay, game. Okay, enough with the weirdness. Oh, they can't reach it. Okay. Okay, now stick it together. Beautiful. Nice. Okay. Woof. Yes. Okay. Now, nice. Okay. You guys have no idea. I really dislike making these kinds of things. It is one of the reasons why we don't make these things out of this is because I really don't like setting these ones up. The principle is simple. The heaviest one goes first, the lightest one goes second. You open up a hole on both sides so that the excess can flow down, and then you pick it up over here, and I made a mess. But that's fine. You know what? I'll just clean it up. Right? The principle is easy. The game's physics are very wonky, and from time to time they don't work correctly. But it is done. It is set up. So now what we do is quite simple. We can then put one of these bad boys over here. The auto sweeper. I think it can reach it right there, but it can't reach the other one. Okay then, but pretty much we put an auto sweeper over here or over here. One of these tiles. He picks up the stuff and he outputs the items straight into the electric reels and the micro musher or whatever. That way Hassan doesn't need to do pretty much anything. And yeah. And then another auto sweeper picks up the output and puts it straight in here. Now we need this thing, the canister, emptier, because we want to replace the atmosphere of the freezer with hydrogen. It needs to be an inert gas so that the food stops decomposing. And then we are going to use radiant pipes with hydrogen inside of them, flowing through one of these things to reduce the temperature of the chamber. It's pretty simple and easy, it works really well. There is other ways of doing this, which are much smaller, but you know, I like this design, so you know, it's fine for me. There we go, so pretty much this is going to be the design. We put one of these on an electric grill, maybe, I don't know if we're going to use 2 micro mushers or 2 electric grills. I think just 1 micro musher and 2 of these might be enough. But at the same time, I kind of want to prioritize berry sludge, so in the future I can just deconstruct one of these and put it over there. We also are going to use a gas range to make, you know, advanced foods such as stuffed berry and stuff like that. So yeah. All of that can be served by this little fella. And then these outputs will be picked up by another dude. One that doesn't have access to this thing. Right? So we'll have to be something like this and then something like this. It's going to require 2 of them. You know, a bit disgusting, but oh well. It is what it is. And then they put the stuff into conveyor loaders. Now, the important part is that these guys don't have access to this thing, and this guy doesn't have access to this thing, because otherwise this picks up the stuff from here and put it over here. And these guys pick up the stuff from here and put it over here as well. So yeah, it's kind of important to keep things separated. Well, given, my friends, that this project is already well in advance, I think that we were gonna do this in the next episode, but well, apparently we just need to finish it. So I think that in the next episode we'll need to start focusing on other things. Our most basic needs are taken care of. We have food, we have water, we have pretty much everything. We just need to complete a couple of projects, like this one for example, and the water. This one also needs some love and care, but right now it is functioning and it's operating within the parameters that we want. This thing is about to go dormant, so we can close this off pretty soon. In the next episode, I think we are gonna do that. By the way, how long do you stay dormant? 50 cycles? Oh, we'll have plenty of time to deal with this, my friends. Plenty of time. So yeah, eventually this will also start coming in to our water reclamation system over here. So with that all in mind, and given that we already have berry sludge, I think that space is the only answer. I think it is time for us to get into space. Some space science, it is nice, but also exploring the surrounding tiles around us. We need to start finding planets and resource nodes. So yeah, not only that, discovering the space that we have available over here, because it is nice to know the edge of the map. Once we know the edge of the map, we'll just slap a row of platforms. Like, no joke, that's precisely what we are gonna do. We're just gonna find the edge and slap a row of freaking platforms. The liquid H2O2 can be done underneath the platforms. Holy Jesus. Oh well. Underneath the platforms for the hydrogen rockets. So yeah, we just need to see how much space we have to work with and put a bunch of things. That way, all the rockets, via the rad rockets, petroleum rockets, hydrogen rockets, Holy Jesus, there is a bunch of fireworks outside. In any case, my friends, all of the rockets will be sharing the same rocket ports. That way we don't have any excuses not to be able to unload them quickly enough. And of course, it's also nice to have all the resources centralized in one location, which we can then automate and just pipe and rail through, you know, our base much easier. If it is spread all over the place, it's a little bit harder to do that as well. Okay, so let's start the very long process of vacuuming this thing out with the mini gas pump, my friends. That is a process very painful, and maybe not, because it's only a few tiles, but in any case, we need to start venting this thing. Once a vacuum is achieved, we find a way to silence this mini gas pump. We then come over here into the canister filler, and we put a bunch of hydrogen into it. Right? We then ask those things to be delivered over here. We pressurize this to like 5 kilograms, or at least the maximum we can, because if you, like for example, even though this is going to be a freezer and it's going to work 99.9% of the time, so from time to time food will still go bad. Let's say there is a bristleberry that was at like 5%, right, and it wasn't yet at freezing temperature, right? It is a very high possibility that bristleberry will go bad in here. And if this thing is pressurized to like 5 kilograms, it will not off-gas polluted oxygen. We will then ask this thing to put it, that polluted dirt or rot or whatever, to put it into one of these things. And, you know, from here we just, like, take it outside, like, for example, like this, right? And we dump it in the world somewhere, so that it's not inside of our base causing problems. Okay, now this thing is a vacuum, so we just go and we request hydrogen to be delivered over here with the maximum of speeds, if at all possible. And then what we do is quite simple. Wrong menu. What we do is quite simple. We come over here, right? And then we build a bridge from the pump into the system. That way we pick up the hydrogen from here and we put it into our cooling loop. Yeah, now automation for this thing. The automation is gonna be the temperature, but I kinda want to put the temperature sensor maybe over here, maybe over there. That's probably for the best. Like, if this thing is at minus 30 degrees, for example, we don't want the this thing over here active, right? We just tell it. Something like this. We also should monitor the temperature of the pipe. Let's see, where is the output? It's right there, so we'll put one over there if at all possible. Temperature. Where are you? Here you are. Like so. Over here. Why? Because we don't want to liquefy the hydrogen inside of the pipes, okay? So if this thing gets at like -70, for example, which is a little bit too much, we tell it, hey, how about you stop? But well, my friends, this is the last cycle of this episode, and I gotta be honest, I'm pretty happy with our progress so far. We have taken care of our water situation, which is pretty cool. Still not yet fully built, but soon enough. Soon enough. This thing also, you know, will need a bunch of automation so that we know what kind of waters we have. I still need to empty out all of this and all of this and all of this junk. Pretty much all the water inside of the map needs to be captured and placed in their respective reserves over here. But that can wait and be done over time. Our food situation is also taken care of. That messy pipe was made even messier, but now everything is working as intended, which is pretty cool. Over here, on the other hand, our kitchen is also built, which is just unbelievable and amazing. It was a secondary objective, let's just say. Right, yeah, I'm pretty happy about this. Now it's just a matter of filling up the pipe, making sure that everything is filled up. And as per usual, the piece manager built the bridges backwards, because of course, why wouldn't I? But you know what, I'm not even mad. It's whatever. Can be fixed easily. Everything in here is built and ready to go. Soon we will be able to have our food frosty and conserved forever, until, you know, Adobe decides to transform it into something delicious. And yeah, the next episode, my friends, we are just gonna go straight into space and see what kind of space we have to work in space. And hopefully we'll start building our fleet of rockets pretty soon. And if we can fix all the other little things that we have here and there, it would also be pretty nice. But well, my friends, with all of that said, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye.